Hello, it's Sunday morning and time for another Wardy's Waffle Farm update, and hello to any new subscribers we've had this week. We've got a lot going on as always at the minute. You can see behind me a load of spares for various machines. I'll go through those in detail. They are all brand new and they're all for Horsch or Horsch equipment. Some of them could actually be used if you're adapting other machinery, but I'll show you those in a minute. Also, Henry, my godson Henry Ward, has sent me some clips from his flooded farm. It's not flooded anymore, as you'll see here, but it's just sad that he's having to resort to this. So we'll have some proper updates from Henry that he sent me in a few minutes. Also, we're looking at our HEATHLAND sugar beet. We are starting to get on top of weed control, so we look at that in detail. We've had 2 open days this week. One of them I'll touch on in a second, but the other one was the ladies in ag event that we had on Thursday. Had about 30 here riding around the farm, and we're looking at various crops and the capulet beans that we're growing to make baked beans. So showed them lots going on. Had a really good few hours with them, so thank you ladies for coming, really enjoyed that. The other open day we had was the Agri iFarm Day, which some of you came to, so thank you very much for that if you did. It was great to see you and see new faces as well. We ended up, I think, with about 115 who came to that iFarm Day, so it was really good to see some new people and have a very good turnout. A great buzz as well, lots of talk, lots of chat at lunchtime around the barbecue, so I think that was fantastic. Some of you have been asking about the sulphur, because Tom Land went through the sulphur trials we're doing and the nitrogen trials. This is a quick update from my agronomist. He did it about 3 weeks ago, so I'll just show you this because some of you are asking the background of the sulphur trial.
So this is our nitrogen trial. The main field and the headland here that I'm on has all had nitrogen at full rate. That's had no nitrogen. And from the middle of the tram line to the right of the tram line, that's had all the nitrogen, no sulphur. And then from that line there is where we started again putting the sulphur on. I think it's fair to conclude that sulphur was the problem.
So thanks Michael for that. You can see the difference we've had and how much no nitrogen makes, and the sulphur actually as well had a big impact. And for those of you who didn't come to the iFarm Day, you can look at update 263, I think it is, the one I did on Wednesday. That's purely on the iFarm Day. And for also some of you are wondering, how did sulphur get to be a problem like that? We've never had sulphur as a problem on this farm because of the amount of sewage sludge we use. Sewage sludge gives us around about 50 kilograms of sulphur a year, so we've never had a shortage apart from this year, so that's why it caught us by surprise. Also in this update, we've got the Solo on. You saw us redisking it last week. Tom's got the Solo on the RX, and we've gone into a neighbour's to solo up some stewardship land, and then we're going to start on our stewardship land to get that soloed and ripped up as well, ready to plant with another stewardship crop that will help the environment and nature. One more thing, if you're going to Cereals event this week, I will be at the Cereals machinery stand at about late morning, probably 11:30, 12 o'clock on the Tuesday, and also I'll be at the Housam Sprayers stand 2:30 to 3:30 on Tuesday and Wednesday, so please do come up. It'd be great to see you and have a chat about the farm, about anything, or about these spares if you're interested. And also, if you haven't bought any tickets for the Cereals event yet, you're still able to do that if you use this discount code here. This code will get you 50% reduction on your ticket prices, and the link to get that discount code and the link to buy the tickets, it will be in the video description below here. So regarding these Horsch spares, Simba and Horsch had an agreement a number of years ago where Simba would help market the Horsch drills. When that agreement finished, they obviously had some Horsch spares left. And I used to do a lot for Simba because I was an ambassador for them. I used to help promote their system, help promote their machinery. I used to talk at conferences abroad. I worked in Ukraine for 3 years on some farms there, helping promote Simba, and that was a really interesting time of my life, but we can touch on that another time if you're interested. And obviously it's really sad now to know what's going on in Ukraine, because I know the country really well. But these spares, as well as what we've got here, we've actually also got these drill filling augers and hoppers. Tom took this photo for me a week or two ago, so I haven't got a video of them, but you can see there's two complete augers, different lengths. One's got a hydraulic motor of them, and these you put on the drill, and it means you don't have to lift your bags up to the drill, so it's a lot easier filling your drill because it's down at ground level. So now all these spares here, I'll go through these in detail. So we have, I don't know how many there, you can roughly count. We've got their DD Light scraper stems. Those of you who've got machines with those on will know what they are. We've got about 150 of these rubber tubes, and these are for the rubber pipes that go down, carry the seed down to the coulter bottoms into the ground. We've got 3 of these brackets that carry the leading tines or the wheel eradicators for the front of the Horsch drill. Here we've got, these are some quick, so they bolt on and they're for quick fit points, knock-on points, and we've got those as well go into it to make the points work. And again, if you've got these, you'll know what those are. We've got some following tines here to go on the back of harrows or drills, and the brackets here. You can see we've got various brackets to go with it, and that's how the brackets fits on. Those of you wondering how they fit on, that's go there. But again, not related really. You could use them on other machines, not just Horsch. Here we have got, and again, I don't know how many, probably 40 odd, maybe a bit more, complete duet coulter points for the Horsch drills and cultivators. And you can see there, the seed actually drops down the tubes there. So the seed would go down that tube there, and then it gets to the bottom and it splits there, it splits it and puts it and band sows it under the ground, so it will band sow the seed there. But again, those of you know what they are if you're using those. We've got some twist points as well. You can see there they're twisting, and I think there we can see in the bottom there we've got about 35 of those. There's those all to the rest of the duet coulters and the A shares as well. We've got some of these wheels that go onto the depth wheels and the transport wheels that go on the back of the drills and the front actually, and these are solid. Some of these are solid because they call them solid eel, and obviously they don't get punctures. Really heavy as well. So we've got 4 of those. We've also got 4 depth wheels with brackets. Now these are, I suppose, stabilizer wheels. You could put these on any machine if you're going to alter a machine. They alter the depth, you see, by the shims. You put these shims in there, different colour shims for different thicknesses. We've got 4 of those altogether. Now here we've got a huge number of various sized rams. We've got them all listed. You can see here massive amount of rams, various ones for various jobs on various Horsch machines, but again they'll fit other machines. You can see various lengths, various thicknesses as well, huge ones there. So anybody wanting any rams of any description, let us know. We've got part numbers and everything for them. And then lastly, we've got some complete Terra Grip. You can see there, Terra Grip tops with the springs, brackets as well to fasten them on, various bits to fasten the Terra Grip tops of the legs onto the tines. And we've actually got a few funny shaped sort of coverers that go at the back, harrows to go on the back of them as well. We've got the brackets there to fasten them on the top. You can see there, so all these are unused. So huge number here of various things, so let us know. Just run back through them. You can see all those are brand new, so if you're interested, please either reply to comments on here or get in touch with us on Facebook, or Rhonda's on Facebook, Rhonda Thompson's on Facebook, or via the farm Facebook page, but we're not really using that farm Facebook page much. We'll get hold of me on TikTok or Twitter. That we're going to get rid of these at significant discount to what new price, because we want them gone. So have a look at this and let us know.
So I mean, just look at this soil. I mean, it's been underwater for 6 months, but so it's coming up seriously lumpy, but it just breaks up. I mean, it's just beautiful stuff.
and it's just criminal that this can be flooded. We're now going to have to put this into SFI, into winter bird food, whereas this, you know, produces huge crops, well, of anything: wheat, barley, rape, potatoes, sugar beet. You can grow anything on this land, and we're just getting forced into a situation where it's getting too risky. But this is the best land to farm, and I mean, look how it's come. It's just, we're going to come in and drill this with winter bird food in a couple of days, and I'm going to hate every second of it, to be honest. So we've got Mark here with a digger. It's the first time we've been able to get on this land with a digger even. So just where are we? Just there is where the riverbank burst, and what happened is all the material out the riverbank has ended up in this ditch, which you can see Mark's just been pulling out. All that material that's come from the riverbank. There's still a lot in there, and what it's essentially put a dam in this riverbank, in the ditch, sorry, it's dammed the ditch up, and it's caused this field to stand water. You can see over there all those lumps of clay, that's all what was the riverbank. So it's operation cleanup, but this is all expense. Yeah, you can see the amount of water that Mark's getting rid of. It's just been backed up. You can just see how much pressure, and there's no depth to that dike now. You look there, look, it's just full of, we'll have to just do this, let the water go, and then come back in a few days when the water's dropped and do it again. But yeah, hopefully that'll now drain and we'll be able to get on this with a TWB as well. So you can see here the amount of water that Mark's just let go, and it's because this dike's been blocked by that, when that river bank's blown, it's ended up in this ditch, which he's now pulled out, well, some of it. We'll have to come back in a couple of days. And this piece here, I thought Mark had dug that out with a digger to let that pond off, but that's just been scoured out by the force of the water that's come through the riverbank, and then it's left all these lumps of clay. What a mess.
Thanks, Henry, for that. Just really, really sad when Henry's having to put land like that into SFI, into the Sustainable Farming Incentive, because of the Environment Agency will not maintain their waterways properly. It really is so frustrating that they can do the amount of damage that they've done to the environment by not maintaining waterways, not doing their job, when farmers get prosecuted at will for something minor. And I don't know how we go about this to rectify it, but we're going to keep banging the drum, because it's not right that that land like Henry's has to go into a crop that is not producing food. But Henry's no option, because if that bank floods again, if the bank collapses and the land floods again, he's going to be seriously out of pocket, like he was in 2019 and like he was this last year. You cannot carry on sustaining those losses. So I'm back at the Fitzwilliam Hospital at Peterborough to get the results of the MRI scan that I had 10 days ago, and really pleasing to say there is no surgery needed, which is good. So there's no trapped nerves, but I have got 4 collapsed discs in my spine. But again, he said for a farmer, for somebody in a physical job, that is not bad. He's seen far, far worse. But I do need to just be careful with it. And the other thing that he said he was looking for, which I didn't know, was a tumour. And he said there are no tumours there, but he said it's a real sign with the symptoms I was having. It could have been a tumour that was leading to bowel cancer, which was a shock when he said that. But he said I'm completely healthy regarding that respect, so that is really good. So anyway, I've just got to go back now. I'm going to have some more tests done on the nerves that come down into my thigh, because I'm still not right. I've still got a lot of pain in my leg and I can't walk very well sometimes. So I'm going to come back and have some tests done on the nerves that go into my thigh. But thanks very much for all the great comments and kind comments that I've had in the last 2 or 3 weeks. People saying what they've had, experiences they've had, and what might be causing it, and your concern, much appreciated. We've got the last of the spring bean going out the shed. This isn't our shed, this is one of the contract farm shed we got right nearby opposite. So we're just finishing off loading this, They didn't do very well because they weren't planted well in the middle of April last year. And we didn't harvest them all about September the 15th, the 16th. And I think they only did something like 1.5 tons an acre, I think, somewhere there. Just a bit over maybe, but not very good yield at all. So this is the last bucket of the beans from 2023 harvest. There's not a lot in here, probably only 0.5 ton or 500 kilograms, that's all. But there we go. But nearly, I think it's nearly got a full lorry load. So that's what we've got on 28, 700 nearly. Perfect one. The legal weight is probably nearly 29, so not much light at all. Electric sheet there. So yeah, this is a new trailer. So these are going to Ruddington near Nottingham, where there's a big bean processing plant. Ruben's just folding the boom up. He's just sprayed this beet field. It's just over a week since these sugar beets were done last, and if you remember from the video a week ago that the broadleaf weeds were getting really big before we put the first application on, and that was because of the weather, wind and rain, and just couldn't get it on. And he's just finished spraying a field, which you'll see in a second, but we're going to go look at him spraying another field of beet. But it's yeah, the herbicide, you can't do them more than or closer than 7 days. And the problem is, as we've seen from the sugar beet trials, and I hope you enjoyed the update we did on Wednesday night from our iFarm open day, where you see we featured sugar beet quite heavily, and you can see from that the effect that herbicides have on the actual sugar beet themselves, how they stunt the growth and knock the sugar beet back. But the problem we've got is these broadleaf weeds are really marching on, and we need to hit these hard. So we're going to have to be in here again in another 7 days time to try and stop these weeds from growing, but I know it's going to be a job. And this is the problem we've got. Look how big these are getting. I don't know whether we're actually going to be able to stop these now, because they are just so big, and the roots, look at that. Really marching on these. Now you can see the first herbicides had an effect because it singed the end of the leaves, and those are brown, but in the middle they're still growing like mad. And here is the sugar beet. That is a sugar beet plant. So you can see the problem we've got. The weeds are bigger than the sugar beet. So hitting the weeds hard also hits the sugar beet hard. So when you look down there, you've a job to differentiate where they are. But I'll tell you what, it is really interesting. Where the tractors run, where the drill tractor has run, there isn't anywhere near the volume of weeds. And the drill tractor and the drill, everything, remember, had twin wheels all round. And it seems to have consolidated the ground. There's Ruben spraying in the second field. You can hear the skylarks singing above. Well, I could, but they've just stopped now. So, the herbicide we're putting on is Jupiter, Volcano, and then we're putting a bit of Safari Duo, I think it's called. There are skylarks singing above, you can hear. There we go, there he is. I don't know if you can see him. There we go. Great sound. Still quite a size, but you can see what the herbicide's done, how it has taken that leaf off. So it's giving it a really big headache, and hopefully this and that one you can see there is really starting to suffer. And some of the smaller ones, there you are, see, look at that won't survive, that is dying. That one has germinated since we sprayed a week ago. Those are dying. It's just the really large ones. Got our Women in Agricultural farm walk on this afternoon. Got about 35 here from Lincolnshire, I think, and maybe Nottinghamshire, and we're having a barbecue here afterwards. We're driving down the farm tracks, and that is one of the sugar beets. Weeds are starting to die off. We've just had a look at the baked beans. Sugar beet is definitely looking a bit better. It's growing and the weeds are dying back. So we're starting to see more sugar beet now than weeds, which is good. There we go. Look at this. Yeah, first in the queue. Yeah. So we'll just get something to eat and then have a look around the machinery, show them some of this kit, what we use, and spray it. So we're just looking at the sample of these Capulet beans, show you what size they are.
Impressive.
Yeah, there we go. And of course they produce Wardy's beans.
That's another bit.
Housams have just come to collect the sprayer. It's going on the Housam stand at the Cereals event, so they've come to take it back to Woodall Spa to clean it all up, polish it, get it all ready to be on the stand. They've also taken the wide tyres as well, because they just need repainting. Tom's just going out with the Solo and the Unipress on the back. He's going to start working some stewardship land for one of our neighbours, and then we're going to come back onto ours. Our Polaris is still away being serviced, but that's fine, there's no rush with us lending this electric Polaris, which is great. Really good machine, but one of these is ideal for driving alongside and setting up the machines. We've got quite a few adjustments to make. So just looking at the amount of grass and things there is here, I'm just wondering whether it will block the press up on the back. There is quite a lot. Even though it's dead and it's been cut, it might hang around the tines, so we might just have to leave that off or lift the tines up, not sure yet. Tried it and it won't run very well with the press on, so we're going to drop the press off and then just use the discs on their own to chop it up. We've got all the pipes out, all the autolube, so that's the autolube pipes there. So it autolubes through to the press, so that might drop when we move forward. No, that's good. I'll just put this pin back in and then put that pin underneath. That's it. So that will come back with another tractor another day and pick that up. So I've brought the Polaris back to charge it up because it was really low. Really interesting. We've got these lights along the front that show its level of charge. And that's the socket in there. And then that tells you how long it's got to go, what percent of battery it's in, its charging rate at the bottom, and when it will reach full charge. Yeah, really good. Obviously takes a bit of time to charge. This is the first time we've charged it up fully, but I think those lights are really cool.